I'm right here, big dog. I see you asking where I'm at. I'm here, don't worry. I'm working on some things. I'm seeing if I can do a thing. Alright, it's gonna be important. If I can do it, then... yeah, we're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna get hype today. Possibly real hype, folks. But I got my pre-show setup I'm doing here, okay? Gotta do a little work. Do a little work. Welcome. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. How are you all doing today? How's everybody doing out there on the internet today? All around the world. What's up, friends? Backspace says I managed to win the Wizzy hat early on Alex's stream. Congratulations, Backspace, for winning the Wizzy hat earlier on the Saturday live stream. Folks, you can see here that we're riding solo again today. So, just want to send a special shout out to Rad Condat, who actually was sick. He was sick. And so, you know, best wishes to them. Hopefully he gets better soon and he can join us again as soon as possible. Congratulations, Backspace, on that, on winning. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. This is the GMAE show, where we, on this show, talk about the news you need to know in the Sandbox Metaverse and get ready for the upcoming alpha. Get ready for the release of user-generated content in the future. Play test your games live on this show. Now, the last couple of streams, we've had so much news that not only could we not play the games because we had a bunch of AMA in the chat, and we like to help out when the community asks those questions, but we've also been so busy that we couldn't even cover everything yesterday because we talked about a lot of stuff. We had a bunch of questions and I had tabs open and we never got there. And folks, if we can, we'll see. I feel like the server is not up right now, and it looks like it's not. I was trying to do a thing. We talked about it, you know, when I wasn't on the screen. I was trying to jump into this alpha and show you a little bit of secrets in the hub, you know what I mean? I was trying, folks. I was trying, okay? I got a special version of the client right now that will give me that early access this coming Monday for a live playtest. So we may be able to give you a sample, but not live. I can give you a sample maybe retroactively of some footage I'll record for you, so that you guys could see a little bit of what's going on inside the metaverse. But for now, it looks like, because I tried to log in, and you can see that spinny wheel. There it is. It says it's not responding because it's looking for that server. Well, that server's not online right now as we are finalizing the alpha. That's how close we are, folks. You saw the announcement. We talked about it yesterday, March 3rd, 3 p.m. UTC. You guys will have an opportunity to jump into the metaverse. You don't need a pass to be able to play and enjoy all the content. Just get the pass. Win one from a variety of raffles, a variety of contests on socials, one of 10,000 passes, and you'll have the ability to earn sand tokens by having the pass, which is the unlock that unlocks that feature on the website at sandbox.game. Chelios10 So should I not be in Game Maker right now? You can be in Game Maker. That's all good. What I was loading was not the Game Maker, friend. What I was loading was Sandbox Alpha. And you can see I have 3 different release versions here. I've got the old school one, the one we did for the first alpha. I've got the updated version here that I'll be using for my special playtest on Monday. And then I've got a version that you guys will see soon on the website at sandbox.game to get ready for the 3rd. All right, that's the production release. It's already created. And now it's all about finalizing the last couple of technical tests for us on the back end so that you guys have the best experience possible. Now, does that mean that the 2 million registered users at sandbox.game log in all at the same time Monday at 3 p.m. UTC on the 3rd? Maybe. Maybe. Thursday the 3rd. I got that wrong. But if they all try to log in at once, then we'll fix it. We got it sorted. In the first alpha, if you recall, or maybe you weren't there, we did have super high demand at the launch, of course, as one does. And we ramped up the server production. And it was good to go. Within, I think, the first hour or so, we were back up and running smoothly. And everybody was getting in and enjoying the metaverse. And you're going to get your next chance at that. So we shall see. Hi Show says, can't buy an alpha pass from Japan. Hi Show, I would let you know that we don't sell them. We give them away. So, you know, if I understand there's special restrictions, so you want to pay attention to your local jurisdictions and those sorts of things. But we're never going to sell them. We're just giving them away. So, Mr. Winning 247 in the chat says, we're all going to alpha pass. And I encourage you folks, if you're watching live with us, as we start to talk about some of the things that are included in the upcoming alpha, that you put your questions in the chat and I will try to address them as they come in. Now, typically, as I mentioned right at the top of the show, Radcon Dad not with us today. That's all right. Best wishes to you, sir. Hopefully you feel good soon. But on the way, typically we have a second person here that can help better manage your questions. But in the case of just like this morning when Alex rolled solo so that I could be prepared for this show here today and do all the work and get the extra rest that I needed, you know, we are going to be addressing your questions live. So if I miss one, feel free to ask it again. The chat rolls quickly. I see chat from twitch.tv, YouTube, and facebook.com all at the same time. And we'll try to answer your questions as they come in. When the Game Maker version of Mac? Bjorn, that's an interesting question. When? When indeed? When indeed? I have the answer, but I can't tell you until the press release goes out. So, unfortunately, there are certain little secrets that I can leak out to you. There are little bits of information that I can leak out to you. But for things like the alpha, as we discussed on the stream, I was telling you, oh, it's about a week away. And, you know, it ended up being about a week and a half later that the PR went out. Once the press release goes out, then I can let you all know. I can spill the beans. But I can say that the Game Maker version of the Mac is in progress and well in development. We've been talking about it for a while on this stream, that the Game Maker will have a Mac version, and it has been being worked on. I think even the very first week that I saw it on a report, I was like, hey guys, don't worry, we got it. It's going, you know? So hopefully that release comes out soon. But let's talk about what's going on inside the alpha. If you watched the show yesterday, you know most of the details on the alpha. You know most of the details on how you can get a pass. And if you have any questions about that, of course, you can ask and I'll try to address them. But for today, we're going to talk about some of the partners that we have inside the metaverse, some of the major community content that turned into Game Maker Fund content and how those are rolling out. And then some of the reminders on the total number of experiences you'll have during the alpha, and relatively speaking, what those rollouts are going to look like. So the first bit that I want to say here is Artifact Studios, RTFKT. You may know them by, because you know it's a nice play on how to pronounce that, but not everybody knows that it's Artifact. So Artifact Studios has the Artifact Meta Dungeon, our first sandbox game experience, available in the upcoming Alpha 2. So we'll show the trailer on that here real quickly. And it looks like, because it's Twitter, I can't make it super shiny for you, but nonetheless, you'll get a great idea. It's a fantastic cyberpunk-esque space with giant mobs, you know, to compete against, wonderful environments, taking things in a direction that you may not be familiar with. If we just go back, I want to go back and highlight this space right, I think it's right after this King of Apes, right here. Okay, going through a sewer tunnel, right? In all the other places in the sandbox, you don't tend to see what appears to be completely circular or rounded off objects or environments, right? But just in this space right here, this is showing, in my opinion, one of the things that's going to make the artifact experiences step up for the visuals, because they're taking something that is voxels and they're turning it into polys and making, you know, these wonderfully large spaces that are visually interesting in a different way than you may not be familiar. Simon Kip says, how can I install that? Is it okay for mobile? Simon, right now we don't have a mobile version of the game client, but it is expected later in development. Right now, you can install the game client as soon as the alpha launches on the 3rd. You can install the alpha game client on Macintosh or Windows for now. Okay. Yesterday I asked if we bought a pass early, would that prevent us? Okay. It says, someone asked Alex the same question. He said, no, I don't think you can buy an alpha pass and then win one later because of how the profile tab works. But he also said to defer to you. Could you confirm that for sure we can buy a pass and still win one? I can give more detail why I ask if needed. Rock, so here's why I believe, and I can verify this, but I need to ask Max. So I talked to you yesterday. We talked about how when you get an alpha pass, Max is the definitive source for making sure that we don't give out duplicate alpha passes, right? So we'll take all of our different contests from Twitter and all these other places, and we're going to put them into one person's form. And then that person is going to start to disseminate those passes, you know, give them out to the community. So it's my understanding that that form is checking to see if a user has the pass based on the rewards programs that we have. Right? The usernames, the ETH addresses, all those sorts of things. So to that point, having purchased one, you shouldn't be reported from a winning here or there from that distribution list. Now, if for some reason Max is comparing that with like OpenSea or, you know, Ether scan data, which I don't believe that Max will be, then I think there would be a conflict there. But because you're asking that now, I'm going to make a note for myself to ask Max about that, just to be sure that that's not going to be an issue. But I don't believe that it's going to be an issue because inherently, like, you know, it makes more sense for Max to just track what Max has to track, not what, you know, what you're buying or anybody's buying on the market. But give me a second here, and I'll definitely make that a note. Ask Max about buying Alpha 2 passes. Okay, so that'll help me there. Okay, so let's come back into this here really quick. Excuse me, that was a huge boss. Is this thing a boss? Wait, are you fighting like the whole world? What's going on over here? All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. I'm excited to see how that works mechanically, and if that gives us some ideas about the ways that we can develop better in that space. Oh, this is interesting. So you can see right there for the artifact space, right? It's got a lot of nice grandeur. It's got bigger, badder fights than maybe we've seen in the past. But I'm going to highlight this portion as well of that trailer. Right? Artifact Studios says, and yes, we're working with the Sandbox game to make all 20,000 clones as voxel avatars for clone owners. And yes, voxel clones are dope. Not going to be available for the meta dungeon at first, but coming out once it's done, we'll keep you posted. So similar to what we have with the Snoop project, except this would be one of the first partner projects where you'd purchase an NFT that is not first on the Sandbox game, but is an external NFT, and then you're getting your interoperability and your additional value from the translation into the Sandbox game. So this is pretty cool. If you own a Clone X already, then this is just a free utility for those Clone X. And this is part of making them all, of course, available in the Sandbox game. So at the end of this trailer, you saw some of those interpretations in the game, but they do have to be handmade, just the same as the Snoop 10K project, in order for them to be interoperable. So there's an interpretation inside our space. There's a lot of work in there, but it's a really cool idea. It's a really cool idea. All right. So let's step into the next space here. So Fun Guys Kingdom Social Hub is coming to the Sandbox Game Alpha V2. So you know that the Fun Guys Kingdom, as is discussed all the time here, their wonderful success story from within the community. You guys you're part of it. You guys see it all the time. I see the emotes in the chat all the time. But the Fun Guys Kingdom was part of the Game Maker Fund, because they started, like you, watching the show, making some content, and then the community grew organically within, thanks to Touche, thanks to Andy, you know, a bunch of folks that are in this chat right now. I'm seeing right now Batman, Big Papa Duke, Rock, you guys all have the emotes right now. So you're probably already watching Touche's space. You've probably seen some of these creations. Maybe you've seen this trailer, but let's show it off here. Touche Studios. So what I really like about this, if you're looking at this scene right here in the trailer, I love the sense of this like organic long-term, it's I guess we want to call it old growth, like mushroom forest thing going on here, on top of the fact that, you know, you're seeing iterations, smaller versions of what looks to be the NFTs that the Fungi family has. You're seeing this, you know, success. Touche had previously created a Game Jam winning game before making it into the Game Maker Fund, and in that Game Jam winning game, there, you know, it was a very robust adventure where the world evolved as the adventure itself was being played out. So this being a social hub, of course, it's going to be a little bit different than that. You're not going to be able to affect the world in the same way that maybe we did with their previous games, but it's still it's just an amazing space to kind of breathe in something fresh into the Sandbox game, something that maybe we haven't seen before. In the very beginning of the trailer, you're seeing things like the little vines making high skill-based jump puzzles possible in the space as well. Because, you know, you always look at those kind of vines and you think like, well, why can't I climb this? But in this experience, you will be able to. So it's going to be interesting what we can discover, what we can explore in this space, where those like secret spaces are. And, you know, if there's not like a mushroom duck in this space, I'm going to riot. I'm just going to tell you that too, Shay. I'm just going to riot if there's not a mushroom duck in your space, because I love the ducks. Love the ducks. All right, what do we got here? What do we got here? Why doesn't the Sandbox Game Maker have an exit option? You'll have to be more specific, Saeed. All right, there is an exit option. I mean, I tend to be personally a little bit more, I guess I want to say lazy, but I love hotkeys, and I definitely Alt F4 to leave when I'm finished with my project after I've saved it and done those things. But And then there's one more bit that I want to highlight here. Over the last couple of days, of course, we've had some generally things that I don't want to talk about. If I'm honest with you, we want to talk about the Sandbox. We want to keep it Sandbox, but this is Sandbox because it's Alex, and you've seen him stream. I don't know if Alex discussed this morning or not. It looks like not, because this is 3 p.m. But Alex Florez from the stream earlier this morning, one of our lead artists, one of the pioneers in this space, and one of the greatest artists in this space that created the NFT that you'll be able to win on this stream, is currently listed one of the rarest NFTs that Alex has ever made. An NFT that is otherwise only owned by people who are usually the faces on this live stream, or people who are extraordinary community leaders like Touche. The Wizzy the Blue Undying Hat is currently listed for 6 ETH right now and looks rare, with 100% of this sale going to charities helping in the Ukraine. I'm looking at Red Cross Ukraine, but I'm still researching options. My top priority is getting aid to those trapped in cities under attack. Now, specifically, I want to highlight this tweet right here. It says, here's the sale link. And you've got this. If you go to @Kamisaze, you'll be able to see this thread here. But this conflict is close to my heart, as I have friends and co-workers from both Russia and Ukraine who are being hurt by this, with at least one in imminent danger. Please keep them in your prayers for this senseless violence to end. Now, again, this is not, obviously this is a Sandbox official stream, but it's an important cause that's affecting people that are in this chat right now. I know that there are people in this chat that this is affecting. So I'd like to see that. Get that sale, of course. Now I already have one, so it's not like, I guess I could go buy another one, but if the community is so inclined, it's also got utility to it. Just as we talk about on this stream, when you guys win those Wizzy hats, you get utility in the space. As I've said before, it says all Wizzy items will grant pre-mint access for the 10K Wizzy Avatar project. Top shelf items like this one will grant more mints. These items also tie into the lore and storyline of the experiences I'll be developing on my land, aiming for 2023. So Alex and myself are working on a space on the... I'm working on the social hub, and he's working on the lore-based spaces. But over here on the map, you can see, if you want to know where the Wizzyverse is going to be, where the utility is for owning those, we've got that. Let's see here, right here. So I've got just one of them in the square, but of these, see, way back in the day, folks, you used to just be able to just manually go buy a whole estate. Be like, well, I couldn't get this estate, so, and Alex came through and picked up all of these that we have intended for the Wizzyverse right now. And in that space, this one is where we'll put the social hub. We've got larger experiences intended for this 2x2 and then a couple of 2x1s, I believe. I believe that was the original plan, but there's a lot of utility, and these Wizzy assets and the Wizzy 4K, the Wizzy 10K project will be access passes to that space. So big utility for this, and of course, a wonderful cause, taking care of people, because, a lot of people who aren't interested in the conflict are involved in it. You know what I mean? It affects everybody. So let's help them out. Let's take care of them. All right, let's see here. THKULAN, there's probably a better way to say your name, over on twitch.tv says, yo, first time somebody makes an Inception Twisted City type space, I will quit my job and spend 16 hours a day there, I swear. All right. Backspace says, yeah, you might want to groom a few more people to help out in the daily streams for the upcoming Alpha season. I can only imagine double or triple viewers of Alpha Season 1. That may be the case if it gets really busy. What we typically do is ambassadors already can sign up. We already have ambassadors that are often in the chat. But if there's an ambassador who wants to help out, message me. Let's talk about it. The same time, nothing's really going to change. But if you can be here for it, that's fantastic. And I will compensate you for that assistance during that time. That said, we'll also have to have like a private little chat so that you can send me the questions on priority, if that is the case. So I already know that you guys are in the chat right now. So if that is the case, we may definitely do that. We probably won't have to bother with, unless you want to, I guess, having voice, because we don't want to have too much like over mixing of the channels, right? Like you don't want me cutting you off, or like Conrad, you know, all that sort of thing. So typically we like to keep it to 2 voices, but at the same time, absolutely, the more people who can help, the better. Let's see here. Pango TV says, can't wait to play my Snoop Doggy Dog. That's right, that'll be in the upcoming alpha as well. But once again, yeah, stepping back here. The point of these streams, folks, is to play your games. So as we have brushed through the last bits of news, we've dusted it off. I gotta ask for those people in the chat. Typically on Fridays, we were going over the patch notes, the changes, the adjustments to the Sandbox game. Do you want to know more about those things, or should we go straight into playing games? If so, leave your game in the chat, and we'll discuss, or we'll talk about what we can do to help improve the product of your game, or maybe it's perfect and I just get to have a great time. All right, let's see here. Message you here tomorrow. Thank you, Dancing Sweater. 6 of us should split the cost of the hat and make a hat share, or a hat DAO. Nice. That'd be interesting. Only if those patches are important, Avatar says. Jesus, says patch notes. All right, well, let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. On the website at sandbox.game, the Alpha Season 2 rewards UI updates are finalized. There is a landing page for partner creation update for a partner that I can't say their name because it hasn't been announced, but new partner upcoming. That's good news. I'm just really quickly scanning through these. The experiences review for Alpha Season 2 has now been finished. The search bar filtering and home UX improvements for the Game Maker are done. Game Maker's top toolbar in progress. Game Client has some new things to test. Game Maker audio streaming behavior is in need review right now. So a lot of you folks have been talking about how can I put my own custom audio in there. Animated decoration behavior is in progress. Benchmarking BlueStacks creator tools. Ooh, that's interesting. That's an interesting one. We'll see how that develops. I wonder if that's the same thing as what I'm thinking, but we'll see. We'll see what's good. We'll see what's good. So I think, well, as I'm looking at this, that's pretty much the big stuff that I can talk about. But yeah, so that's great. It's good stuff. Those are the big ones that I can talk about. So audio work inside the Game Maker is in progress. And search bar, of course. So the UI UX update, guys, I know you guys have been talking about it a lot. You wanted a search function in the Game Maker so that we can search the gallery properly. That's big and very important. Filtering, all those sorts of things, so you can type what you like. Maybe you can get a category, that sort of thing. That's all being worked on right now. So yeah. All right, let's see here. Anonymous had a question. Why no Linux version available? Currently, Anonymous, the Linux market has been exceptionally small. That said, I think I remember Seb saying in an interview or discussion that it was already being rendered on Linux in the past, but there's not a dedicated team to Linux because it's such a small market. Doesn't mean it can't be made, and it may be easy to transition into, but you know, software wise, you want to make sure that it's good, it's optimized, and that it can be taken care of well. Any idea how close we may be to live streaming the Sandbox through an NFT? King of Crypto asks. Yeah, pretty close. So a big part, King of Crypto, as you asked this, a big part of like the Warner Media partnership and the Snoop partnerships and the DJ Blondish featured in the upcoming Alpha partnerships is that we start to add those features where you can essentially have a concert live in the metaverse, right? And that lends itself to the same exact thing of, can we have this live stream in the metaverse? Yeah, probably. Certainly when those features are in there and they're finalized. The important and critical thing is that they run well. They run smoothly because, you know, theoretically, you could have a video in an iframe in the client already. We've tested it lots of different ways. But one of the potential fallbacks, and I'm just thinking out loud here, is what happens if somebody puts 4 videos in the same experience, right? Or 12 or something. How does that affect the end user for loading not just the internet, but their PC? And at the same time, as we reach further into like mobile development and these sort of other things, after we've added Mac now and we're working toward the future, how do those things apply? You know, how do you control audio so that only just one of them actually plays? So these are different bits of the game maker that we have to make sure work well, so that, you know, we're not just injecting video, but we're injecting video and giving, you know, maybe there is a solution that I can't think of right now. There probably is, actually, now that I'm thinking about it more, where you could have one video on the left and one video on the right, and you could choose which one you're watching, essentially. Because, yeah, they both play, but only one of them has audio on, and you walk up to maybe a Switch or, you know, some other kind of controller in the game, and you go, I want to hear this one. I want to turn that one off. Something like that. But we'll see where it goes in the future. There's a lot of different things to consider when you think about injecting live video into speaker component with a detection radius, for sure. That would work. But will it work in a multiplayer space? Right? So there's lots of different possibilities, but we definitely want to explore them, test them, see that it works and works well. And that's what we've been doing since, you know, essentially August of last year. I think we've been pretty heavy in that, and then it's only getting closer and it's working better. You've seen it, like when you go into the space in Alpha Season 1, Snoop Dogg was featured under the NFT Institute with custom audio. It'll be the same case in Club XYZ this season with DJ Blondish. You know, there's 2 custom songs that'll, you know, just in proximity, just like you say, speaker component with a detection radius that'll be playing those songs for you. So got cool stuff coming up, but we'll see how that video kind of works its way out to be optimized and good stuff. Soul Cancer says, when GPUs come down, I'll get one. Do some mining with it too. Nice. Yeah, hopefully there's some supply chain crunches, of course, as they go, but you know, it's good stuff. Let's see. Any other questions here? Can't wait to have shows inside the Sandbox. I agree, so it'll be really fun. It'll be fun. It'll be like really meta though if I walk up behind one of you guys while you're watching the screen and I'm streaming this the Sandbox with my character, and I'm like boom, surprise, you know, because you guys are always like in a dance around. I'm sure we'll see that a lot more in the upcoming Alpha. You want to party on the screen and do all those sorts of things, so that'll be fun. All right, so let's get into some gameplay, folks. What do you think about that? Oop. There we go. Let's open up the Sandbox Game Maker here. So what game should I play today? Guys, you got some? Okay, Joseph, can you play Meta Olympics event number 2 at page 12? Thank you for that reminder. Yes, that was queued up. 12. Okay, Meta Olympics event number 2. I believe I remember this being a featured, there we go, 5,000 sand tokens. Oh, so an interesting thing I want to say about this right away as I'm looking at this title. Upload a screenshot of a recording to Metalympic's Twitter and win 5,000 sand. In order to make this more clear that it's not $5,000 worth of sand, you should put the $ in front of the word sand here. So people understand they're getting sand tokens instead of $5,000 worth of sand tokens. But, good stuff, good stuff. I'm sure it's been asked. Controller support. Controller support is tested, sort of. Not coming very soon because it will be an integral part to a piece of the roadmap where we talked about going to consoles. So, in order of operations, it was PC, Mac, and then mobile, and then consoles for our roadmap. So, Coca, it may be a while, but controller support would be, you know, it's not terribly hard to do. Shriram says, if I have 540 raffle tickets, what is the probability of winning one alpha pass? Well, your raffle tickets, I mean, it's kind of relative to what everybody else submits, right? So if you had played the game enough to get 500 tickets, but of the registered 2 million users, only 1,000 people play in the alpha, which is way lower than it's going to be, but I'm just coming up with an example here, then, you know, you have a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting the first alpha pass that's distributed. Math, you know, there's 10,000 passes, but only 1,000 people are submitting in the raffle in that example, then you're guaranteed to get one mathematically, because we want to give one, you know, an individual can only win a contest once. You know, so there's that. If there's 50,000 people who are entering, then, you know, and you all play to the extent of having 500 tickets, then you, and maybe let's assume some of them don't have it, right? You've got roughly, that would be like a 1 in 4,500 chance or something to get that. Or is that right? No, like 1 out of 4.5. Sorry, 1 out of 4.5. 1 out of 4,500 for, yeah. Okay, yeah, 1 out of every 4.5 people would win one in that example, if they did more than the average person did. So, different, you know, just usually I pull out a calculator to spitball that kind of idea, but okay, Metalympics, and I just immediately, I'm the pro. I'm the pro right there. Folks, it's over. It's over for me. Oh, well, just accept it. Yeah. Well, that was, yep. Oh, you know what? Fire, you know, fire. I rolled off the, I rolled off the cliff. All right, this is gonna be one of those contests that people who are much better than me are gonna obviously do much better than me, right? But right away, I don't think that the difficulty curve is really that hard. I'm just trying to do it fast because reasons. Okay, these cars are gonna move, but the coins aren't. Or shields. I think these are officially shields. Cars are incoming. I didn't really have to wait that long, but probably was good. Because Joe's trying to not die here, alright? All about slow and steady until, you know, you get good. And once I know how to do the map, it's a lot easier to complete the whole thing quickly. All right, let's see what we got here. Got a tree. Can I stand on that? No. I'm supposed to walk across it. The ice is a killer. Okay, I'm very far away because I didn't hit a new checkpoint, but that's all right. Oh, well. I wonder if I can run on the side over there. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is great. Slow and sweaty, says Dancing Sweater. I agree, dude. I agree. You gotta sweat it out every once in a while, you know. You gotta do good, gotta do well. Oh no! Oh, double oh no! Well, I'm not dead yet, I guess. Got that going for me, which is nice. Can I? Huh? Okay. Woo! Yeah, it is. It's a nice parkour map for sure. Already feeling the stress. Already feeling the strain. Gotta get good real quick. Because, you know, gotta win some sand, folks. If you can go fast. If you can be good and fast. That is not how you be good and fast. But here I go. Here I go losing again. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. No. Push me off a cliff. What a jerk, dude. What a jerk. So typically I want to go at these kinds of contests with, or these kinds of creations with feedbacks. So were the cars going to hurt me or just push me off into the water? That could be a way to go faster, right? Assuming that they don't kill you. Oh yeah, cool. All right, the cars don't kill you. Do 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 do. Whee! Here we go. Checkpoint 2. All right. Wait, did I not get the checkpoint last time? Nice. I was this far, but I didn't grab the checkpoint. No! No! Skill-based play, you know what I mean? Skill-based play, friends. Time to get good, Joe. Okay. All right. All right. Gotta get good. Gotta get good, people. Are those lava gorillas? I believe. Sort of. They look to be more like just obstructions that get in the way. And they're, you know, I guess that's kind of a good point as we're looking at this. Like if we look at it in an objective sense, it's good that like all the parkour elements of this are great, but can we put in elements that aren't just default assets to make this challenge what it is? Or can we keep it in one theme? Like if we've got gorillas kind of going left to right, does it make more sense to have the cars also be some kind of animal or large, you know, jungle-like creature? If so, the environment around, should that be all, you know, I guess techno style, or should it be something else? What do you think, chat? What do you think? The way Joe plays, he'll end up owing 5,000 sand tokens. Nice. Nice, dude. Wow. Wow. Imagine. I thought we were friends, all right? I thought we were friends, Soul Cancer. I thought we were friends, okay? You ruined it. My heart. It hurts. Did you get pizza, Brittany?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dog. I can smell pizza and I'm gonna die.
I also got food.
Well, that's great. I'm live right now at the Sandbox Game.
They can't hear me.
Yes, they can. They absolutely can. What's up, friends? Sounds like there's a little personal party. Chat's like, yep. Like I can hear. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. That's coming up. There we go. Okay. Oh, I could just walk from one stick to the other. I don't have to take it too easy. I was like, oh, well, okay. Wait, but now I can't die. What happened? How does this work? This isn't good. Was it that easy? Did you? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No, come back. I need you. Where's our pizza? Look at that. Look at these. Chat knows. Where's our pizza, dude? Can I send? Can I send pizza over the internet? I don't think I can. Okay. Okay, Brittany. Can I send pizza to 206 viewers right now? I don't think. There it is. We won't have any money left. There it is. Can't do it. Can't commit. I feel bad, you know. You ever do that in school, guys? You ever do that in school? I don't know if it's the same all over the world. It'd be interesting to know. Like a pack of gum. What was the thing in school for you where, like, if you had one and you gave it to one person, everybody on the planet was like, can I have one? Julian says, I heard pizza, I'm back. Oh, wait. This pillar. I was freaking out. I thought I was going to die again. And by die, I just mean not actually die. But die inside. Come on. Because if I fall from this, you know, it's a long way down. Okay. Okay. Boop. There we go. Okay. Don't forget the checkpoint. Now I never have to see that again. That's what I'm talking about. This is not bad. This is pretty easy. This is chill. A person could do this part quickly. I didn't even need to use it. That's not going to be chill. Okay. Gotta look around here. Gotta look around here. That's probably the first one I should do, but I could do this one as well. Ding 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 ding. Look at all these victories, dude. Look at all these victory trigger assets. Oh, you can still climb up on that one. But over here. Wait, there's more up there. Oh dear. Just taking it easy. I'm not trying to fall off a cliff right now. I'm just taking it easy. Lava's bad, you know? Lava hurts. Okay. There's a ladder here that I'll probably have to climb, which means I should have gone bottom up in this section. Unless there's another ladder at the end. There is. Okay. Are there more victory triggers that I have missed? Possibly. I think mechanically, this section right here, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure somebody else could do it better, but I don't feel like this section is all that different than the other sections, and it doesn't, you know, I'm waiting a lot more on the world mechanics than I am myself, except for right there, because I'm good at video games, folks. So for this part, okay, I kind of like the fact that this easy bit is here. Like, did I die? Okay, I can come back here. And then can I leverage this now to get the last victory tokens faster? Maybe I went the wrong way. Okay, now I need to go all the way up, which is over there. Okay, I'm going on up. What's up? Okay. Ding 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 ding. We got him. Okay. So 13 minutes and 10 seconds is a timer. But let's talk about the variety in this space. I think that given I'm gonna restart it just to give live feedback on this here. So this section, no big deal, everything's straightforward. We get in. Here we have objects coming from the left and the right. In terms of visual thematics, you've got water in this space. You've got random idols, objects that can knock you off here. The idols objects could be like posts that look, if you want to keep it like techno style like this, then I would say like posts that have that like neon edge but black in the center would be better. And then keep all of your death elements consistent, in my opinion. It doesn't matter if it's water, it doesn't matter if it's lava, but keeping those consistent keeps them on theme. Now the gorillas that are kind of moving left to right here, I feel like it's kind of the same thing. There's no reason why in this space that that this wall needs to have maybe this second layer. So I would open up the second layer to signify that objects will come from the left and the right. And then, you know, even if it's just opening it up to be this bright neon blue in that area. And then you could have maybe platforms that would kill on touch come out from the sides so that we're still avoiding that. Or, you know, because I think the gorillas kill on touch. So let's see here. Yeah, they hurt you. They hurt you when they touch you. So there's no reason that a platform that's coming out can't do the same thing and keeps it in theme without it just being gorilla. And then once again, you've got the lava. So is the lava the best for this? I'm not sure. I don't think that it is personally. I think the lava is fine if we don't have water. If I like the lava contrasting against the neon blues. So if we're keeping the neon blues, then that's great. Do I need to collect all of these? Let's see if I can unfortunately get to the end or checkpoint without actually collecting everything. I don't really care if I take damage here. Let's just ride a car back. Oh, I'm awful. I'm awful. Whoop. Well, here I go dying again. There we go. Okay, so we'll try to just ride a car back. If I can checkpoint without having collected a certain number of tokens, this I would consider to be a failure. Only in the sense that, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess that doesn't matter too much. Oh, looks like there's something happening outside. We had, you know, because we could come through here. It's possible to make it so that you can't get that checkpoint without having gotten the tokens, so that a person doesn't have to go get the, you know, or does have to go get these tokens rather. Because if I die here, it's not going to spawn me backwards, it's going to spawn me forward. So as I'm grabbing these tokens, oh darn it. Rolled off. So we know, based on the quest objective previously, that we needed every token or every little victory trigger coin, as it's described in the quest here. But to know if, oops, fell off again. To know if we need them all to actually get the win is also another interesting question, because can I skip half the coins and just, is it then, you know, just a parkour challenge, or am I going to get to the end and be like super disappointed? Okay. I fell off there at the end, but there are definitely a couple of ways where you can just grab 2-3 coins or what have you, two of these victory triggers, and whoop, trying to be good, you know what I mean? Jump, jump, there's no damage. You're right, in this section there is no damage. No damage. No. No. It left me behind. Left me behind, people. For your time so much faster without needing tokens. And that's the interesting thing, right? Is as it is a competition, one of the qualifiers is that we grab all the tokens, but ignoring the competition, reviewing it as what it is, you know, I would say that the, we can kind of still pull out what's broken about the game, even if it is actively in competition, even if it is, good for speedrunning, because I believe that it's good for speedrunning. If the mission is grab every token and do that fastest, then you're going to automatically get the victory trigger at the end. But if the victory can be triggered without grabbing every token, then it's got an issue. So let's have a look. So as we get back into this space, I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with the... Okay, so you do need to grab them all in order to win. But the lava columns that are kind of coming up and down make sense in that it is a lava-based space. So I think this is kind of one of the more rare instances where I'd say that's totally okay. I would not even think about that too much. In order to take it to a visual level that I think is cool or interesting, is maybe there can be a narrative beat in here that talks about why these things are floating or flying. Otherwise, can you make it so that when they rise, they're not just these little columns or, these little objects, but rather actually full-size columns that are coming up and down? Something big enough that you can bury it deep into, because you can see how much extra ground there is under the level here. So if you can make it so that the column is tall enough so that it just goes down into the subsurface that users aren't going to get into under this lava, then it can be more challenging a little bit, in that you won't always see all of the victory tokens. They're not just kind of floating here. Sometimes the pylons are going to be tall enough to get in the way. It'll also be more logical, I think. Again, it's just my opinion off the top of my head here, but I think if you had that where these are those big columns, then it just makes more sense in this lava-based space. But once again, if you're going with a lava-based kind of space in the end, why aren't we doing it in the beginning and in the middle? Like, just let all of these places have lava, even this area right here, unless if you don't want this space to be lava, then that's fine, that makes sense. It's a different kind of challenge, and if so, maybe one of the others along the way isn't lava down here at the bottom. If it stays with this highly technical theme, then don't make this floor red, because that would make me think of lasers. I would make this floor green, and so we can land down here and know that I'm not going to die. That sort of thing. So I honestly wish that in this section I could, but only so I could respawn at the checkpoint really quickly if it is a speedrun sort of situation. But at the same time, I can see how that increases the challenge, so we have to go back and start all over if we mess it up. So a speedrunner would get to this point. If they fell off, they go, all right, that's it, whole run's ruined, Alt F4, go back, and that sort of thing. So let's see here, as we're getting into the 7 o'clock hour, my local time, folks, it is tradition on this live stream, of course, that we do a little giveaway. Wild Times Twitch asks, any cool giveaways today? We do have a cool giveaway today. We have the same giveaway that we were doing on earlier stream right here on this show, also on previous editions. So we'll go to Sandbox.game. We're going to check out in the shop. I'm going to show you exactly what's going down here. I'll type Wizzy right here. And these Wizzy themed NFTs have been a series of NFTs that we've been giving away on this live stream over the last 2 years almost. Wow, time flies. But currently, the NFT that is on offer is an equipment piece item called Wizzy the Green's Lucky Hat. And this particular hat can be worn inside any combat-based experience in the Sandbox game. So, let's go. Green Lucky Hat, that's right. It has 2 catalysts as a rare asset, but rare asset in that there are only 200 of them, and there will only ever be 200 of them, and you can only get them on this live stream. It will give you the stat in-game luck, 44 points of additional luck stat. So let's see about making one of these forms ready for you guys. 1 second. It takes just a couple seconds for me to copy this form over and get it all prepped for you. It is the 26th today. Okay. It's also notable that if you have previously won a Wizzy-themed NFT, specifically the green lucky hat, that you cannot win another lucky hat. So only one per person will ever be given away. I'm going to make sure that the responses are ready and turned on. And then I'm going to send a URL in the chat right now. So once again, there are just 206 people in the chat right now. I'm going to refresh that just to make sure. Are the stats confined to one experience? No. The stats from your equipment can be used in any combat-based experience. And because it's an NFT, your equipment goes with you. So let's refresh this page here real quick. I want to make sure we have the right number of people. Yes, so 217 people in the chat, which means when it gets to about 230, because I'm going to give people on Twitter a chance to enter this as well. I can't see how many people are on Twitter right now, but when it gets to about 230, I'm going to close down this form. That should probably only take a minute or two. In the meantime, folks, if you have questions about the Sandbox game, about VoxEdit, our asset creation tool that can make assets like this, if you have questions about the Game Maker or anything in the metaverse, including the upcoming Alpha Season 2, please put those questions in the chat here, and I'll be able to address them over the next couple of minutes. The form is in the chat, IS4LI, but I'll go ahead and paste it one more time, just in case you are coming over from Twitter. Here you go. 117 responses already. You guys are active in the chat right now. Squigglyverse asks, what are you most excited for in Alpha Season 2? I'm always personally most excited for new features. And the newest feature that we have in the upcoming Alpha, or what I would say is the most significant feature, is avatar projects like the Snoopverse being interpreted directly. So you go out, you pick up that NFT of the doggies, and then you'll see that represented in the space. That's going to lead to a lot more projects like we talked about at the top of the show, like this Artifact Studios project, where the Clone X's are getting their own interpretations as well, as soon as all the assets are translated from their 3D profile picture creations into usable, tangible, in the verse, other VoxEdit based creations. So I think it's a really cool idea. Yes. So we have a cosmic mutant. Very cool. Very cool. All right. The question comes in and says, this time only 500 sand as a reward. 500 sand is the base reward. But the total number of sand has actually increased, or is rather very likely to increase. So as you know, Abhijit over there on twitch.tv, as you know, in the last alpha, we had 5,000 alpha passes that we distributed. And for each of those alpha passes, a person could win 1,000 sand. If they had won the pass, they just had to do the quests, and you could get 1,000 sand. Now, in this alpha, we doubled the number of passes. So the base amount, logically speaking, in order to stick with the program as we had already planned for sand distribution, was brought down to 500. But based on how much sand the community stakes in the M sand pool at sandbox.game, so if you're over here and you click on your profile on the top right and you click staking, you can see those sand pools right now, and you can see the total value locked here in that space. So as the alpha launches, if you have M sand staked on the Polygon mainnet, just the straight M sand staking, then you're contributing toward more rewards at large for the entire community. So you'll see a progress bar on the website when you're looking at the alpha. Soon, this rewards page will be updated. And then you'll see what percentage we're already at based on the staking we're already doing, what the goal is for the community. And if we reach that goal, then everybody gets 1,000 sand, meaning that we're doubling the amount of sand we distributed compared to Alpha Season 1, just like we're doubling the number of passes that you could have. So upwards of the same exact amount, but ultimately twice as much sand possible to distribute. If we own a piece of equipment, can we have it in our game and be using it as equipment in another game? Now Jackie Chan asks, well, any NFT equipment is account locked, meaning that it doesn't matter whose game you go to. If you're using an avatar in their game or your avatar, then you are automatically able to use equipment. And that's what makes it different. So if you're thinking about game design, Jackie Chan, because you're in here all the time, if you're thinking about game design and you don't want your users to have items that might make them feel overpowered, then you would want to replace the avatar by default with something you've created. So if you're making a cinematic based experience, if you're making, something that you think is like the next Call of Duty or what have you inside the Game Maker, then you don't want the main character necessarily, or you might not want them to be really strong. So you would not allow them to use their avatar so that they can't use their NFTs in your game, but they could use the things that you chose as a developer for them to get so that they could gradually get stronger and feel strong before they get to the end of the game. So these are choices that you have to make as a developer. If you don't mind, and it's a nice open world adventure like we've seen many of these games be, then do that. Allow them to have their NFTs. You could take it from one experience to the other, but once again, it's always up to the developer what the game experience is going to be. Because I've seen some games that are straight up, you're a cube on the map. And this game was actually super fun in one of our game jams. But you were just a cube, like a gelatinous cube that bounced around on this like puzzle-based experience. And you don't want a gelatinous cube necessarily wearing a hat and having a sword and doing all these other things. So we replaced the avatar in that experience, that creator did. And then you were using the custom asset, and it was a great time. So Joseph, did you check out my wallet to make sure there are no duplicate wallets in the giveaway form? Yes. Yeah, that's part of the process. So part of when I'm coming through and I'm having this conversation with you guys and talking about this is well before I make the announcement, I'm out here making those adjustments and those changes, because you guys don't know kind of what it looks like on the back end, but you can actually print an Excel spreadsheet, and then you can set in that spreadsheet that, if there's a duplicate, highlight this thing to be like bright yellow or whatever. It doesn't take very long to do, but it just has to be done kind of at the same time as we go through this. So right now it looks like there's 247 people in the chat. So that number went up a little bit coming off of those people from Twitter. And so I let it go long a little bit there, but we'll do it on the RNG here. And we'll account for those 247 submissions. We'll hit generate on this. And user number 209 in the chat. 209 is over on youtube.com. Chawalit Kind. I believe I pronounced that correctly. Over on youtube.com, Chawalit Kind is our winner here today of the Wizzy themed NFT. Now let's see if we can get to some more of these questions. How can I sell my avatars? I have a collection of 110 avatars. You want to be more specific about that Sand Hand 110, but if it is an avatar so there's two different kinds of assets, and this is important, is if you're in your, let me see if I can go to my inventory and give you an example of this. So in my inventory, I don't have any avatar-based assets. I have assets. So when I click on this, you can see that it says entity as a type. Behaviors are avatar, because it has all these different actions. So I could replace an avatar with this, but it is an entity object and not an avatar object, right? So you can see all sorts of different things in here. The land itself is going to be, I guess it's a parcel. If I click on this, it says type equipment. So if the type is avatar, then you can use that to replace yourself, your main character that you walk around into every experience with. But that feature is not yet turned on, as that is part of and will happen about midway through the upcoming alpha. So if you have one of the Snoop Doggies, you'll know what this looks like. But otherwise, if you have 110 assets, then you can use them inside of the Sandbox Game Maker to make any game or experience that you want to make with them. So all these whizzies that I have, I saw this happen once in some game development that I thought was very interesting. Is like you started combat and you were facing off against, let's say, the French Bulldog here. And then while you were in combat, it transformed into the Alpha Dragon, and then it transformed into Santa Wizzy, then back into a Fruit Bat, and then turned into Wizzy the Blue at the end and was the big bad endgame boss that way. So you can do that and set all those things to happen so you can maximize your use. If you want to use every NFT that you have, you've got lots of options there. Okay, the trailer also said that the staked M Sand earns up to 200 raffle tickets. Is that true? So that ticket that you saw like rolling up in the trailer, what's important about that? So let's go to the article at medium.com so you guys could see exactly what's going on inside the Alpha Season 2. So on medium.com/sandbox-game, you can probably clear up all of these questions with regards to how many raffle tickets and what are your chances and that sort of thing. As we scroll down here, there's a section that says how to get a Season 2 Alpha Pass. And then there's another button that says learn more about the raffle here. So you can click on this and it says Alpha Season 2 Raffle. Learn how you can turn playing for free into an Alpha Pass. Okay, so you've got options here. If you own a Season 1 Alpha Pass, you're getting 30 raffle tickets for free. If you own a Snoop Dogg Private Party Pass or Early Access Pass, 30 tickets as well for each of those. Landowners get 40 tickets per land, up to 200 max tickets. And then if you gave feedback from Season 1, you're getting 10 extra tickets as well. You can earn a maximum of 500 extra tickets. Gameplay, maximum number of raffle tickets earned through quests in-game is 500 tickets. So in combination, potentially, you could have 500 or 1,000 total raffle tickets that are drawn at the end or near the end of the alpha for the pass itself. In the meantime, as you're doing these quests, you're getting through your progress on the website, and you can see that if you had a pass, how much sand would I have earned to that point? And there are also other incentives and small bits there. But the raffle tickets themselves are earned. Let me do the math here really quickly because I'm pretty sure that would check out 500 extra tickets. Yeah, I don't see here specifically that it says that. I don't believe that that's the case, but also mathematically, as I'm looking at this is something I'd have to double check on before I can give a solid answer, because when I'm looking at it mathematically, you got 200 here plus another 100, so that's 300. There is room for that extra 200 tickets. So, I mean, it makes sense in that way, but, you know, we watched the trailer together as we discussed it yesterday, so maybe I could pull that trailer here since it is on the same page, and we'll have a look. And no, I don't want to save that. Okay. No written pieces about staking, so let's have a look at the trailer and see what's good here, and then if it's not clear, then okay, alpha, new experiences, 200 quests to complete. All right, let's see. Don't suppose we have updates about the rewards requirements. I don't have that right now, as it is the weekend, so nobody's in the offices, unfortunately. Is there a minimum M-Sand you need to have staked, and by what date before it launches? There's not a minimum. It is a community cumulative prize that we're reaching that checkpoint. Can you import Minecraft PC files to the Game Maker? You cannot 305 World Changers, but you can import Minecraft PC files out to Magic of Voxel and then export those through... you'll want to look up a tutorial on how to do this because it's a pretty complex process, but then you can export that into the Game Maker. Okay, let's see. Cosmetic NFTs work across all experiences using avatars, right? Cosmetic NFTs as avatars work across all experiences using avatars. All experiences using avatars that are single player instanced, you can have wearables on. Wearables will be coming to all experiences in the future, but not currently. One more thing. All the class such as Epic, Rare, and Legendary, how are they decided? For the most part, those are decided based on rarity traits. So if you want something to only have 10 copies of it, or less, then you can set it to Legendary. It uses 4 gems. It uses a catalyst at Legendary. And then because you chose to make it Legendary, you're going into that knowing, hey, only up to 10 of these will ever exist. And so that's why the Wizzy the Golden hat that Alex is doing the giveaway on right now over here, or the sale on rather, is so rare because it has the Legendary status. And you can see in the image 10 minted, because that's the maximum cap for something that's Legendary. If it's not Legendary, but instead it's uncommon or rare, what's the purple one? Epic. Yeah, if it's epic, then sorry, my brain's going a mile a minute right now. That's limited to 50, and then it's limited to 200 if it's rare, and then I think it's 2,000. I could be wrong about that off the top of my head. I don't mint. Alex is the minter because he's the artist, but for the common rarity. So even if it's listed as common, it's not really common. It's actually pretty rare regardless, but that really only changes how many slots there are in the potential power of an object, and of course how many you can make. All right, so we got a lot of grats going out there as I'm going through these. I built 110 custom entities, so I would like to sell them to others. I see. So that said, Skyhand 110, or your 110 custom entities, if you'd like to sell them to others, you just have to wait until the community user-generated content sales are turned on, which will be after we're on the Polygon network with our assets themselves. So currently assets are minted and sold on the Ethereum blockchain, but we'll be transitioning them over to the Polygon network in the future. So as we get there, there's a lot of work to make that happen, not just to create the system so that you can mint, but then also create the system so that we can transfer the asset to that chain and all that sort of thing. So as a layer 2 network, there's a lot of integration there. Folklore Studio says, Joseph, do you keep all your lands and sand in a hardware wallet? I recommend a hardware wallet to everyone. Currently, all of my sand is staked in the website at sandbox.game. But I recommend a hardware wallet to everyone because it is just, quite frankly, safer for all of your stuff. If Snoopy avatar is usable in the alpha later, how about the avatar I created of my own? W. Caleb asks. Once again, user-generated content avatars will be a feature in the future where you can make your own thing. You can mint it to the blockchain and you'll be able to use it in your space as your verifiable individual asset. But currently, the Snoop project is the first project that's ever been made as a 10K natively in the Sandbox game. And with that, we learned a lot. We're going to continue to learn a lot, continue to expand development, and then make it more, like slowly push it out more into the community. One example of that is we had the first alpha. That was all in-house content. The second alpha, we've got some content from the Game Maker Fund, which is supported external groups like Touche Studios. And then we've got now also the community full user-generated content, but still not independently published by them. It is going to be published in the Sandbox space as we are working to make that infrastructure not only effective but efficient. I mentioned it yesterday, but we have to make sure that when we roll out user-generated content, that we can handle from the server side for you guys, so you don't have to worry about this. We have to be able to handle the idea of opening multiple servers all at once, and then also opening servers that can support a large stack of people on them. Right now we have the stack is about 40 people, and in the last alpha we ran into the issue at the very beginning where a bunch of servers were getting opened wide, right? During peak time, there'd be like 12-ish, 20-something people on any given server, but then they weren't automatically closing down when they emptied out. And so we had all these servers that were just open and wasting resources. And so we worked on the optimization of that, fixed that before the end of that alpha, got more people into more of the same instances. But what we ran into is over the first couple of days, it was already like, oh, there's 1,000 servers open, 1,000 instances, and you had no idea where your friends were. And we wanted to make sure you could get that. And so we worked on that. So there's a lot of different stuff there to think about when you think about creating experiences, getting user-generated content out there, and how can we do it the right way. And that's what we work on when we work on this alpha. Will the land multiplier apply to staking M-Sand in the future? I can't give a solid answer on that one, Wild Times, because the land multiplier was a feature that we used for the liquidity provision tokens as an incentive. But all of those sorts of staking programs were exceptional staking programs that we were doing. It was off the roadmap. We just did it because we wanted to say thank you to those people who were investing, right? So in terms of what you can do for multipliers, I'm not sure. But the long-term plan is that you stake your sand in your land, and as a result of that staking, or staking the two tokens, you get the gems and catalysts that you need, and you can see them at the top of the screen right here. There's gems and catalysts, my gems, my catalysts, my currencies, right? So you stake and you start generating these, and these are ERC20 tokens, just like the sand is, which means that you'd be able to trade them amongst each other if you wanted to, buy and sell them if you want to. These are good for the artists who want to create the assets, and then you can use them inside the assets that they created. Possibly you could get them in your game. Okay, let's see. The mock-up of the webpage in the trailer at the bottom mentioned MSAM also giving raffle tickets. Read all the Medium articles, and it didn't mention it, and you didn't mention it in the last stream. That's right, relax. I didn't mention it in the last stream because, quite frankly, I don't like to give proof or certainty to things that I can't say for certain. And the reason why I'm saying it just like that is because I noted that in that trailer, the numbers were wrong because that was meant to be a hype trailer example of the user interface of the page when you click on Alpha. You can see the rewards, Alpha rewards from Season 1 here looked way different than they do in that trailer. And in that trailer, it was an example of how it evolved from this level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a sort of battle pass-like system with a free-to-play earnings system of raffle tickets, and then the, what would in a not play-to-earn environment, the bottom half is usually used. When you play your League of Legends or something, your Call of Duties, the bottom half would have been a pay-to-play section, but in this case, it's not the case. That's the what will you win if you win using your raffle tickets. If you win a free alpha pass, you'll also get all the things on the bottom bar. So, for me to say for sure without it being clear that's the case, would be improper. I don't want to set an expectation for you guys and then that not be the case. However, it may well be the case. We'll just have to see what this page looks like when it goes live, because quite frankly, I'm not on the web development team, so it's inappropriate for me to give you that answer. And between yesterday and today, there's no way that I could get the answer from that team because they don't have to work on a Saturday. So, do you know when the migration feature for POAP on the Santa Wizzy is? Chris F. You can migrate that to the Ethereum blockchain at your discretion, but that's up to the DAI-X network. So on their website where you got the POAP, if you want to have that so you can display it as an NFT inside your experience, you can do that. That said, keep in mind that is a kind of an art piece. It's a commemorative art piece. It's not the Wizzy itself. All right, so it won't represent the asset that you saw on the other page, because that asset was created for Christmas of last year, or 2 years ago, rather, where we did that giveaway live on the stream. All right, what will happen when you reach 1,000? Eratos, if you reach 1,000 tickets, then continue to have fun, but the 1,000 tickets is the maximum. The same case would be if we reach the community goal. If we get 100% of community goal on the staking goal, then everybody gets 1,000 sand, as long as we maintain that 100% at the end of the event. So, you know, we're not going to go over the cap because we have to make sure that we maintain the good, strong tokenomics plan that we have over the last couple of years now. It's been years. It's so wild when I think about that. It feels like it's just literally yesterday that we launched the sand token and got things going. All right, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit because we are getting, you know, I'm about 10 minutes long in the questions, so forgive me if this like 20, this kind of, for me, it would have been 720. People who are already staking M-Sand will get a raffle ticket automatically. Assuming that staking M-Sand awards raffle tickets, then yes. Is there going to be a difference between wearable or equipment? Wearables or equipment, there may be a difference. I believe that there is meant to be a different non-stat buffing wearable, but I don't believe that the equipment that you already have will translate directly to that. That said, that's not a finished feature, so it could be that wearables and equipment end up being the same thing, and you can just wear your NFTs without the stat boosts in social hubs. We'll see how that continues as development goes. If you think that's a good idea, or if you think that's an awful idea, give us feedback over on Discord, because that feedback translates directly to how we do things. Let's see. I'm seeing some questions that got repeated. Hopefully I answered them very recently. So that, like the one about the Snoop avatar being useful, can I use my own? Once again, avatars are avatars and assets are assets or entities. So if it says entity on the thing that you minted, then it's not an avatar and it won't be usable as an avatar in the metaverse. Is there a benefit to where your land is located on the map? It doesn't look like you'll be able to just roam from land plot to land plot. Randuxy, you actually can just roam from land plot to land plot. It just happens that what we are doing in the alpha is trying to keep it as simple as possible for people to experience all of the things in our space that is a 24 by 24 land block, right? So if you are on the map and you were, let's say, if I can get up to the center here, it's automatically pulling me to that Web3 land sale. Let's say you own this block right here. All right, if you're Big Smalls and you own this land plot right here, then you may be playing in this space, right? And then you walk to the edge of the map. And as soon as you walk to the edge of that loaded instance, it's going to pop up a thing that says you're about to transport to this experience name, give you a preview image of the experience, and you can select E to travel to that experience. If a person goes from this experience to the next experience, you're not going to spawn on the edge of the new experience. You're going to spawn wherever the developer wanted you to spawn. So when you're making your games inside the Game Maker, and you're thinking about where do I want my people to appear, the same thing happened in the previous alpha. You didn't spawn in the perfect center of the map, and you didn't spawn on the perfect edge either. You spawned on the designed spawn location, and then the first thing in front of you was the Metaverse guide character that was kind of like a floating old gentleman up there. So, that was the intent from our designers, to make sure that you spawned here and you saw that the way to walk was that way. And so then you could naturally make your way around the space. So the same would be true in any one of these experiences. If I walk to the edge of the Sandbox game experience, then you would have an opportunity to move to the adjacent space, assuming that you can actually touch the edge of the map. Otherwise, of course, it's really easy for you. If you're playing in an experience that has a closed box, something like that, then you can come back to the dashboard like this. And you could say, well, I'm going to go over here to the DeFi game space right here with the Bored Ape. You could just click on this, and when you zoom in, it's going to show you all of the experiences inside the space, and then you can go play in one of the experiences on this large 12 by 12 plot. So hopefully that explains that, but you can definitely walk from space to space, and you can teleport from space to space at your discretion. The teleports that you have inside the Sandbox official space are different kinds of teleporters that, rather than having to go back out of the game, they can take you from 0-0 to 24-24 without having to do anything, right? You just walk up to the teleporter and it just goes. Alex showed off on a live stream probably two and a half months ago now how you can place an NFT inside your space as well that gives a reference URL link to take them back out to this page on the website and show your land, so that you can then click, I'm going to go in and play. So there's a way to do that as well. So if you own a land here and you own a land here and you think, well, they're too far away to walk, but you want people to go from one experience to the other, then you put that NFT interpretation from OpenSea in your space. You put the referral URL to be the URL that pops up at the top. You'll see that the URL up here is changing when I'm clicking on different lands. You put that referral URL up there inside that embed, and you'll be able to refer people to go play it. Say, you like what you see here, go play over here, and they'll go enjoy that as well. Will future land sales be on Polygon, or will they continue on ETH? Eventually, the land sales will transition over to Polygon, as that is a different kind of smart contract, a different kind of group, as part of the integration of transferring lands to Polygon at large. All the assets, all the NFTs will be transitioned over to the Polygon network, but it requires many, many steps in order to make that possible, and it's quite a lot of work. So, okay, Riandana 2030 says, okay, pause the trailer at 41 seconds. At the very bottom says you will get 200 extra raffle tickets for staking M Sand. Now, I want to say that, well, I'm going to go back to the trailer here just to make it clear. We can pause it wherever we like, but let's look at this. We'll look at this together, okay? You can see at the very bottom edge down here, it says stake M Sand to increase the prize pool. You will also get up to 200 extra raffle tickets for staking M Sand. The real question that you have to ask yourself, and the reason why I won't verify that here on this stream, is that you also see that for level 1 of the Alpha Pass, you get 20 sand. For level 2, you get 10 sand. For level 3, you get 10 sand. Level 4 is 10 sand. Level 5 is 50 sand. Right? That's cumulatively 100 sand. But we know, based on the article, that you can earn 500 sand base just from gameplay. So the numbers that are sitting here on this page may not be representative of the end result. You can also see it says raffle day, March 24th. Will that be the same day that it shows on the website when it goes live? I don't have a solid answer for that. So I don't want to tell you, yes, for sure it will do this if that's not the case. So what we're waiting for is the release on March 3rd. When you see this dashboard, when you're going on to the website and you're clicking on alpha, when you see this update right here, that's when you know solid, it's in there, you know, it's a fact. But until we get there, as it was not written in the article, I don't want to verify that while the team is not back in the offices in Paris right now. Okay, so let's see here. So candidly, Kristen says something that's important with relation to that. It says, it's like I keep telling people, the video wasn't meant to be paused to show people all the details. If they wanted to give all the details, they would have paused the screen for 10 seconds and just not quickly tilted and swerved the screen across. Once again, it's a UI thing, right? So let's see here. Cool. All right. People who stake sand can get 1,000 sand if what? Coca Jenkins asks. Sorry, I know it's about 10 minutes ago. I'm getting a lot of questions, and that's a great thing. So by default, when you're doing that pass, and this part of the trailer, once again, the trailer wasn't accurate for numbers wise, but the article is accurate. So by default, if you have won an alpha pass, which you can win by having raffle tickets and submitting those raffles, or, you know, having that in the raffle with everybody else. If you win the season pass, then you have an opportunity to claim the sand tokens. Now you can see here, how can I get a season 2 alpha pass NFT? Season 2 alpha pass owners will win up to 1,000 sand. So read on for more details. By default, the pass itself has, I'm going to click learn more on the raffle here so you can see the full details on that. You got the raffle tickets, but the base sand reward available with the season 2 alpha pass is 500 sand. If the community booster reaches 1,000, or I'm sorry, plus 100%, community booster, which is managed by staking on the website, if the community booster reaches 100%, then the sand rewards will then be 1,000 total because it's going to get doubled. Okay, if the sand doesn't, or if it doesn't, the sand rewards will be 500 sand for season 2. So once again, we doubled the number of season passes. So logically, in order to maintain good tokenomics, we would have to reduce the amount of sand potential reward, right? But rather than do that, we also incentivized staking so that you can continue to enjoy the 1,000 sand rewards as a community, but we all have to work together. Now, I personally am already working towards that. I've shown that quite a few times here, but I staked my sand in the Polygon mainnet M sand right here. You can see currently the total value locked, which is based on the number of tokens, of course, and what share. You're going to enjoy some APR on the way, so you're getting free sand as you stake it anyway. So it's definitely a good thing, and it increases for the entire community. So even though, you know, very likely I have a disproportionate amount greater than the average person because I've been here for a very long time, every little bit is going to help every person here, and I'm more than happy to help everybody in the chat and participating in that alpha. All right, is there a minimum amount of M sand to be staked in order to get a raffle ticket? No, but your raffle tickets will increase accruing if according to that video, which isn't again confirmed, they would accrue at a greater rate if you stake more. But once again, up to a potential maximum. So I'm sure there's a mathematical formula in there that I don't have on a document right now. But yes. Okay, let's see. Cyber Phoenix Studios has been working on some game jams lately. Good to hear it, Cyber Phoenix. Good to hear it. Very happy. The Sandbox has to hold that balance the entirety of the season, though. That's true, Dancing Sweater. If we were all on the last day and everybody pulled out of the staking pool, then it would decrease the percentage as well. But, you know, once again, the longer that you have it staked, the more sand you're earning anyway for free. So it's a good deal. It's a good deal. So when walking around, we can see different experiences in the neighborhood, but not from an experience. What's the benefit of a premium land when it comes to value? Mr. Winning 247, just like inside the Game Maker, you only see the experience that you load. So when you go into the Game Maker and you're in the gallery and you load up an experience there, that's that kind of open box, you know, airspace that's out at the edges of the map are still true inside the metaverse. The only difference being that you know which location you are in the metaverse, which NFT or NFTs you are standing on. So this is intentional because you don't necessarily want to make a medieval style world and then have a cyberpunk, you know, skyscraper right next to you off in the distance. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. Also, you're not having to worry about additional lag for your users because your users don't have to load up that experience. They don't have to load that potential game code or other kinds of code in that adjacent area. So unlike in places, you know, other metaverses that exist, I won't name any names, but you don't have to deal with what's around you. As a designer, you get to design what you intend for people to play. They can enjoy it. They can have a great time. You can change the camera angle to be whatever matches best with your space. And then they can go and they can play that experience. At the end, if it's an experience that does have limited camera angles and somebody wants to leave and they want to go out, well, they can open the dashboard just like this, but it's quite a bit more zoomed in. So inside the sandbox you saw in the trailer, and this is definitely, I'm going to pull that back up just for the sake of clarity on this one. Let's go back in this trailer real quick and let's see if I can find this part right here. Okay. You see, it says the Sandbox Alpha is back. You see how it's kind of zooming into this square and it has that kind of U-shaped bit there. Oh, okay. So we come back over here. That's the same square. So on this screen, you're seeing just the Sandbox logo because that's the group that owns it. The same way that, you know, The Walking Dead is over here and experiences are being built for that separately. Well, as it zooms in the game client itself, you see all the individual experiences. So as it opens up, you know, we're seeing the South China Morning Post and the missing parts space. And this isn't necessarily a final version indicative of the map, but this is just a sample version and where they are minted right now. So if there were a space over here on the far right, if this is all full up and it's open full time, then, you know, these lands that we talked about earlier off on the right could just walk in to what we know to be the alpha metaverse right now. Now, of course, full UGC isn't unlocked, but when it gets there, that'll be just the norm. That'll be the way that it is. You're walking from here, and theoretically, you could walk through everybody's game experience and go all the way over to, you know, the actual South China Morning Post space or the Bored Apes space, which is way near the top up here, you know. All of these that are loading up, you could go over here to the Binance space. And, you know, of course, to a certain extent, people aren't going to want to walk that far, possibly. So it's a lot easier when we take it out to the map and we just teleport there. So got some alternatives to get people to move around. And this is to the point of, as a designer, as a developer, how should you be marketing yourself? You'll want to make the world know where you are as much as to say that you are, because the metaverse is huge. So you're going to be able to play in this space for forever, you know, because just the alpha itself is, you know, tens and tens of hours worth of gameplay. And then you take that and you zoom it out to all of these 404 by 404, 166,464 lands. That's a lot of gameplay. All right, no, and I'm going to scroll pretty quickly through this last bit as we are getting kind of long on the show today. And, you know, if I'm honest, I'm really hungry for some pizza right now. But, you know, we've got okay. Will the Mac version of the Game Maker be released on March 3rd with Alpha 2? Randuxy, I can't give a clear answer on that. I've seen, and we've talked about the patch notes that come to the Game Maker, little bits and the things that I can give away. I try to give away here on the show. So join us kind of at the top of the show regularly on Fridays. We talk about all the different kinds of patch notes. And next Friday, you would already know this, I suppose, but if that is true or not. But the Game Maker, I can confirm that there is a production version of the game client that will release. So will the Game Maker be ready for that at the same time? I guess I would just say find out soon. Because the thing that I could confirm is that a search bar filtering, home UX improvements is finished, but that may be for version 0.7. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Lot of stuff going on, and I get like all the information at once. So in order for me to be able to filter it live down to exactly which versions go where is quite difficult. Let's see. Long-time lurker, but entering my first game jam for the retro game jam. Awesome. Been fun. Do you know if the reviewed games get feedback? We don't give direct feedback to the reviewed games, but Fusion Streaming, if you would like feedback before you have to submit it, let's play it on Monday. Because that's what I love to do here. Is ideally, we're playing your games live on the show so that, you know, you can learn, adjust, increase your chances of winning. Get better, get it ready. If you win, maybe you want to publish it to the metaverse. If you don't win, maybe you still want to publish it to the metaverse. That's all good. Whatever you like. So just make the request and we'll play it live, and I'll give the feedback and try to critique it to the best of my ability. And then as I'm critiquing it, you can usually see the chat tell me that I'm like, I know what I'm talking about, or I have no idea. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'll give you the best that I have in my experience. I've been doing it for a very long time. So, but once again, that might just mean that I'm the old guy in the room. You know what I mean? That maybe somebody else does that better, or has a better viewpoint, or a different idea that's different than what I said. And they're like, yeah, let's do that. All right, let's see here. Do you know about Meta Ring? I am vaguely familiar with this idea, but I'm not sure if I'm thinking of the same one. But I don't make any recommendations for wallet-based things on this show. But if you'd like to talk about it more on Twitter, feel free. Yeah. All right, and I've seen some chat going back and forth between the chatters here. So I appreciate you guys. Soul Cancer says, super busy on my game. Thanks, Joseph, and bye all. And I agree with that sentiment. It's time to get down to business. Once again, folks, as is tradition, sorry that we missed this yesterday because we went long. I don't want to miss it today just because we went long. So we're going to make sure we raid somebody who's creating inside the Sandbox game right now. And it looks like the user that's online right now, the only user streaming at the Sandbox right now, is King of Crypto. What's up with that? You know what I mean? Let's get ready for that. I'm gonna raid King of Crypto right now. A raid has been created, so we're gonna jump on over there. And so if you're watching live over on twitch.tv, the 97 viewers that are in the chat right now are getting ready to raid over. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, chilling, chatting, having some fun. We're going to close it out with that. And if you're joining over on youtube.com, or you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook right now, maybe DLive Theta, anywhere you are, if you'd like to join us, this is twitch.tv/king_of_crypto. All right. And we're going to jump on over there. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been a good time, and I'll see you on Monday. All right, folks, we rated. If you're watching on YouTube, it's party time now. We already rated. If you're on Twitter, you get the real time.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on.
Thanks so much, everybody, for being here today. It's a good time. It's a beautiful Sunday morning if you're in Asia right now. So get out there and enjoy. Get out and enjoy your Sunday. Hopefully everybody has a good time. And we'll see you tomorrow. My Monday, your Tuesday, if you're in Asia.